Now, KCAU 9 News starts with your forecast first.
Good evening, Siouxland. I'm glad that you're with us on this Thursday. I'm live at the Marcus Community Fair, and the pork feed is just underway from the Marcus Lions Club. I'll tell you, my mouth is watering. It smells delicious out here on the fairgrounds. We'll get a live look outside from Sioux City, Iowa right now. We have some bright sunshine. It's been a gorgeous day with some comfortable temperatures. Right now, those are in the 70s and 80s spread across our Siouxland map. It is currently 84 in Sioux City, 77 in Sioux Falls, 82 right now in Yankton, and 79 degrees in Spencer. Checking out our forecast headlines, we can expect to have some more warmth and sunshine coming our way. There is a very small chance of some showers happening this weekend, and then it looks like a cool down will happen later on next week. We'll have all the latest in the 909 forecast coming up. KCAU 9 News at 6 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 6.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Seaman. Sophie has the evening off. A new surge of COVID-19 is being reported in several states tonight. Some of those states share a border with Iowa. Doctors fear that the Hawkeye State will soon be experiencing another wave of the virus. The latest numbers in our top story tonight at 6. Missouri officials are reporting record transmission and hospitalizations from the Delta variant, and Iowa is starting to see especially high transmission levels of the virus. Average daily cases are at about 700 a day. That at this time just last month, there were only about 70 new COVID cases a day. The hospitalizations are also on the rise in our state. 355 Iowans are hospitalized fighting the virus. That's the highest number since early February. Sioux City's 2 hospitals report combined COVID hospitalizations at 14 patients. Some hospitals, like one in Carroll, are reopening their COVID-19 units, all due to an increase in patients. To help combat surging COVID cases, the largest health care system in Nebraska, those systems now are requiring all employees to be vaccinated. And that includes CHI Health, Methodist Health System, and Nebraska Medicine. Top officials say that they are concerned about capacity in their facilities because many beds are now occupied. Nebraska no longer reports COVID-19 cases or hospitalizations. Farmers across the nation and right here in Siouxland will soon feel the effects from a law passed 3 years ago all the way out on the West Coast. For years, California has been working to enforce a welfare proposition in an attempt to push for more humane treatment of farm animals. Well, under the new rules, pork producers wishing to sell meat to California companies will be required to follow a new set of production standards, including more spacing for breeding pigs. Experts say that this could cause for a nationwide pork shortage.
Uncertainty is not something we need in the middle of a drought here because we got enough problems right now. How exactly it's going to affect us, we don't know. It's put a great deal of uncertainty.
That law goes into effect in January of 2022. Coming up tonight at 10, KCAU 9 reporter Mallory Smith talks with one Siouxland farmer who is expressing concerns about the California change. As the world shifts away from traditional fuel sources, one Siouxland community is also working towards renewable fuels. NORFOLK community leaders today welcoming a statewide organization called Renew Nebraska. That group aims to encourage clean energy investments in communities throughout northeast Nebraska.
There's a reason that we chose to do this announcement here in Norfolk, because northeast Nebraska is where a lot of the clean energy generation development has happened in the state in recent years, and we have seen the real-life benefits of that.
The co-chairs of that Renew Nebraska include the mayor of Norfolk, who we just heard from, State Senator Elliott Boster, as well as retired Nucor general manager and a board director from the Omaha Public Power District. Meanwhile, cops in Norfolk have rolled out a new program to help make officers' jobs more convenient. KCAU 9 reporter Dylan Adams tells us how a unique mode of transportation is being used to prevent crime.
5 officers have added a new tool to their arsenal for preventing crime in Norfolk: bicycles. Captain Chad Ryman says that they've owned the bikes for a few years but have dusted them off and are putting them to good use.
Decided that it was time to start bringing them back and utilizing them. They're a pretty important tool for areas of town that maybe aren't accessible to vehicles.
Back in June, instructors from Bellevue, Nebraska spent a week in Norfolk training officers on proper ways to use the police bikes, as well as putting them through challenging obstacle courses to test their abilities. Captain Ryman says that the bikes are more effective than a squad vehicle in specific situations.
They can move a little bit more inconspicuously than a normal police cruiser. They can, again, like I was talking about before, they can access areas that are not accessible to a normal police vehicle.
And to make closer connections with the community when out and about, such as during parades or at the Big Bang Boom event over the 4th of July weekend.
The community members, they're interested and they like to talk to the officers and they'll ask questions, and then that gives us a chance to interact with our citizens and have that good contact, which is also super important for us.
Reporting in Norfolk, Dylan Adams, KCAU-9 News.
Well, after a year off, Miracle Burn Camp is returning to Spirit Lake. It's being held later in the summer than usual because of pandemic restrictions, but the camp for burn survivors still includes activities like horseback riding and sailing. Each year, St. Florian Fire and Burn Foundation helps send burn survivors to that camp. More than 40 kids are at Camp Foster. That's where the burn camp is held. The foundation president tells us that after a year away, this year's event has a different look.
Obviously, we had a huge shock when we seen the kids get off the bus. It's crazy because we see these kids only usually once a year, and to not be able to see them that extra year, we have some kids that came from 2 years ago, they were kids, and now they're almost adults.
KCAU-9 reporter Jason Toktajian shares what some burn survivors have to say about returning to that Miracle Burn Camp. That story tonight at 10. The Albert City Threshing Bee returns for its 50th anniversary this weekend. To share some history with farmers in the Siouxland area, people will have the opportunity to see more than 500 tractors, including some that were locally made. That event also showcases steam engines and plows, showing what farming was like over a century ago. Chairwoman of that planning team, Connie Reinert, says that the event can help young folks understand the history behind farming.
I think they'll also find that there really is something for every age in the family. You know, Grandpa can come and tell stories to his grandkids and talk about how farming used to be back in the day.
Folks there spend all year preparing for that show, and thousands of Siouxlanders have attended that event in recent years.